Right, dog's nails. Lots of people have asked how we cut dog's nails, and particularly black dog's nails. This picture here shows the inside, the quick, and why it is important not to cut this. This is the blood vessel inside the nail, and this is the part we need to avoid when cutting. This drawing just shows that the excess nail on the end, and we need to bring it up as near as we can to the quick without cutting this. Now this is where it gets very important. You can use various different kinds of clippers to do this. You can use this kind, which is the manual kind that have a blade. There's various other kinds on the market. It's really up to you what you get on best with. These ones are quite good for large dogs. The only thing with these is what I'm not so keen on is that you can quite easily, if the dog moves, put too much in and then cut the quick, which you would then cause it to bleed, and it's very uncomfortable for the dog and gives the dog a bad association with nail clipping, and then we all begin to struggle. Everybody should have, before you even start clipping, you should have something that is a blood clotter, because if you do cut the quick, they bleed and they bleed and they bleed. Your dog will be covered, your floor will be covered, everything will be covered. So a simple clotting agent like Trimex is fantastic for stopping any bleeding. So get this before you even start. If you never use it like we don't, that's fantastic. But then if you're not experienced at cutting nails, you should have something like this. In Redpaw, we prefer these kind of nail clippers, grinders they are, and they grind the nail down so you don't basically cut your quick at all. You can stop before you get to that to the part that's going to bleed. It's much kinder for the dog, but the key to these is getting them used to it. This is an electric one. They're very simple to use. It works with a piece of sandpaper on a small roller on the end, and it spins round at speed and simply grinds the nail down to the appropriate spot as on the diagram. You can get battery operated ones as well. This one's fantastic. As you can see, I use it quite a lot. It has various different holes as a guide for you to put the dog's claw in. And what's also really good about this one is it's got two different speeds. So if your dog's not used to it, you can start off at a slow speed and then increase to a faster speed. This is the one we're going to use for today's demonstration. For our demonstration today, this is Sprocket. This is my 15-year-old terrier. He's very good, but he's not always keen on having his feet trimmed. He particularly doesn't like this kind of nail clipper. He now has got much more used to this one in particular. He likes the noise. He doesn't mind the noise of this. When you first start cutting your dog's nails, it's incredibly important to get your dogs used to the equipment. So that's the sound of it, and that's the feel of it on their feet. Now, how I start this with all dogs that come into the salon is with lots of treats. Good boy. That's a good boy. And by starting simply, all you've got to do, and you can do this at home, is play with your dog's feet. This is where our owners completely go wrong. They forget to wiggle their dog's toes. As you can see, good boy, Sprocket. Good boy. Give him treats when you're holding on to it. Play with him. Tug on the nails a bit. And when he lets you do it, you give him a treat, and you make a lot of fuss of it. Good boy. And when you're sat on the sofa in the evenings and play with their feet, play with all their paws and their toes and their nails. And again, focus him on our food. If your dog's not very into food, or you don't want to over treat them, take a little bit out of their main meal. Or if they're not into food, you could use a toy or something like that. Now, when it comes to the nail grinder, it's getting used to the noise. So I have a treat in my hand, and I'm just going to turn it on. And he's more focused on the treat, which is much more yummy than this silly noise. And then I'm going to just hold it on his body so he can feel, because they vibrate down his legs. And as you can see, he keeps stepping away. When he leaves his foot there, he gets a treat. Good boy, Sprocket. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Just the gentle vibration over the top so he gets used to it. And the more they get used to that, it becomes easier for you once you start beginning on the toenail. and they worry about black nails. If you use a nail grinder, you do not need to worry nowhere near as much as you would if you're using the manual clippers. You're much less likely to cut the quick because you can do a small amount at a time and work back. With Sprocket here, I have previously got him used to the nail clippers, so I'm going to show you what you do. If you do one nail a day, that's fantastic. If you've got a dog that's not used to it, you don't need to do all of them all the time. Your routine could regularly be every evening you sit and you just do one nail a day. That doesn't matter. You don't have to put your dog through the stress of getting all your nails trimmed, grinded all in one evening. That can be incredibly stressful, and particularly even with Sprocket here, he's 15 years old. He doesn't want to go through a full 4 feet trimming. We'll stick with just one a day. So as you can see for this demo, we have grown his nails quite long, so you can see. Now, one key thing with this is you wouldn't want to grind the nail right back to where the quick will be. You want to just grind a small amount off at a time, just to make sure that when he puts his foot down, that his nails are not touching the flat surface that he stood on. As long as his pads are the things that are on the floor. If I show you like this, where his pad is, and the nails are not touching. We'll demonstrate afterwards with a correct and a bad foot. Then you will know that it's not bending any bones in his foot and everything is square and it's not going to hurt him at all. So we'll start grinding with this one. I use the big hole with him. Mind your head, good boy, good boy. And just put it in, hold it flush on the end, small bit, feel it every so often so it's not getting hot. If he pulls away at all, you just check with him that it's not causing him any pain, and it shouldn't be causing any pain. It's good to keep it square. When you've got the nail up like this, it's got a natural 45-degree angle, so you keep your grinder square to the end of it. So as you can see there, we've gone back quite a long way, and that one's probably enough for this time being, and we'll move on to the next one. First we give him a treat, being a very good boy. Good boy! You good boy! So moving on. Oh, he says I don't want that treat. Let's start again. Do you not want it? Okay, fair enough. Dogs can quite often do this where they don't want the treat anymore because they find the actual whole part of having their nails grinded quite stressful. I don't want to have a treat. You're grinding my nails. Good boy, Sprocket, good boy. So hold the nail firmly. He's not pulling away though, so he's just being my little Sprocket. So we grind that one back a little bit. Make sure you rub all the dust off so you can see that you're not heading too far back. So just a little bit more there. Very light pressure on the grinders. You don't need to push, let them do the work. We'll call that one enough for the time being, and we'll just switch that off a minute and let him have a break. Good boy. So as you can see, we've just done these 2 nails. So my key is to having the nails good, and if you're doing this regularly and with some road walking, then your dog, if you can get a piece of paper under the nails, the ones that you've done, then they're short enough and you're never going to get that quick then. As you can see on this side, we can't get anything under because his nails are growing too long. So again, just simple. You could go a little bit shorter. The more often you do it, you can get a bit shorter because the quick will retract away. But that's quite, I'm very happy with that. He naturally has quite long nails anyway. Sprocket's last 2 toes here. So, again, light pressure, holding the toe. So grinders like this that have got the guard on are really easy. So you've just pulled away this. That one might be slightly sensitive. So I will go in for one more, and if he pulls away again, then I would say, yep, like that. You're very near the quick, so that's enough for that one. And if you look, into the end of the nail. You can there. That round circle in the end of the nail there means you're reaching the first part of the quick. If you continue with that, you will definitely make it bleed. So you stop there. The dog, getting to know your dog is a key to this. It will pull away and it will show you when to stop. We'll do the last one here, which is the middle one. Again, separating. There we go. One more time. Can also be that he's being a bit naughty and he doesn't want it doing. But I would say he's probably very near his quick. Again, we'll have a look on the end of there, and you can see the circles come now, and that's the early warning stage that you're going to cut that quick if you keep going. So you can see the 4 nails we've done, and they've all got little circles on the end there. So that's as short as his nails are going to go comfortably for him. Hence why these nail trimmers are so much better and safer than using the normal